You're running late, security lines moving, you toss your bag on the belt, and then everything stops. The TSA agents calling for backup, your bag's being pulled aside, everyone's staring, and you have absolutely no idea what you did wrong. Because the item that just got you flagged, it's something millions of people pack every single day without thinking twice. The rules changed. Nobody told you. And number 4 on this list is sitting in carry-ons right now, completely legal last year, but in 2026, it's causing delayed flights and missed connections across every major airport in America. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to show you exactly which everyday items are now getting flagged by TSA in 2026. We're talking about things you've carried through security 100 times before, items that seem completely harmless. Products that were fine last month but aren't fine anymore. And here's what makes this critical. The TSA isn't announcing these changes loudly. They're not. Sending emails. You find out when your bag gets pulled and you're holding up the entire line. The last item on this list, even frequent flyers are getting caught. Even people who travel every week for work. Because this change is so recent that airport staff are still learning the new protocols themselves. Item number 7. The skincare revolution that security hates. Let's start with something that's catching people off guard every single day. Those trendy skincare sticks, the solid serums, the balm-to-oil cleansers. You know the ones. They look like deodorant. Twist up from the bottom. Completely solid at room temperature. Here's the problem. Nobody warned you about. TSA doesn't care if it's solid. Not anymore. These products transform. They melt. They become liquid under pressure or temperature changes. And in 2026, TSA's new screening protocols classify them as liquids. But here's the twist that's frustrating travelers. The packaging says solid. The texture is solid. You can hold it upside down and nothing moves. It passed through security fine for years. None of that matters now. If it can become liquid, it's treated as liquid, which means your $100 skincare stick is going in the trash unless it's under 3.4 ounces and in your liquids bag. And this changes everything about packing cosmetics. People are losing expensive products daily. Those luxury solid perfumes, confiscated. The cleansing balms in stick form, gone. The new solid sunscreen sticks that were supposed to make travel easier, security's pulling them. But what no one expected was how inconsistent enforcement would be. One airport lets it through, the next airport confiscates it. Same product, same packaging, different interpretation of the rules. The official TSA guidance, updated in January 2026, is clear. If the product can liquefy, it counts toward your liquid limit. But airport screeners are still learning. Training is ongoing, which means you're gambling every time you pack these items. Here's what travelers are reporting from major hubs. LAX is strict about it. Denver's hit or miss. Atlanta seems to be cracking down. Smaller airports might not even notice yet. The frustration is real because these products were marketed as the solution to the liquids rule. Finally, skincare you could pack without worrying about the 3-1-1 rule, except now they're caught in the same restrictions. Item number 6. The power problem. Nobody saw coming. Now we're getting into territory that's affecting business travelers hard. Portable chargers, power banks, battery packs. Wait, you're thinking, those have always had rules. True, but the rules just got way more strict. In 2026, TSA implemented new watt-hour limits that most people don't understand. And manufacturers aren't helping by using confusing labeling. Here's what's happening at security checkpoints right now. Any power bank over 100 watt-hours is completely banned from carry-on. That's not new. But enforcement is dramatically increasing. And Most travelers have no idea how to calculate watt hours. The math is simple, but nobody does it. Milliamp hours times voltage divided by 1,000. That 30,000 mAh power bank you bought might be over the limit. Depends on the voltage. But here's where it gets messy. Cheap power banks from Amazon often don't list watt hours. They only show the voltage is buried in fine print or missing entirely. TSA agents are now required to verify. If they can't confirm it's under 100 boatours, it gets confiscated. And this changes everything about staying charged while traveling. People are losing expensive battery packs because the manufacturer didn't label them properly. The traveler had no way to know if it was compliant. But what no one talks about is the secondary issue. Power banks between 100 and 160 watt hours require airline approval. You need to get permission before flying. Most people don't know this. They show up with a high-capacity charger and get denied at the gate. The frustration compounds because different airlines have different approval processes. Some let you fill out a form. Others require advance notice. A few just say no entirely. And here's the kicker. Damaged or swollen batteries are instant confiscation now. TSA screeners are trained to spot them. That battery pack that's been in your bag for 3 years and looks a little puffy, gone. The guidance is clear, but the execution is chaos. Travelers are scrambling to figure out which chargers are compliant. Amazon reviews are full of people asking, will this pass TSA? Nobody's quite sure anymore. Item number 5. The smart luggage trap. This one's catching people at the worst possible moment, right before boarding. Smart luggage with non-removable batteries. These were the future of travel just 2 years ago. Built-in chargers, GPS tracking, digital locks, weight sensors, everything integrated beautifully into expensive luggage. Here's the problem that's stranding travelers. If the battery can't be removed, the bag can't fly at all. Carry on or checked. This rule existed before. But in 2026, enforcement became absolute. No exceptions. No gate checking your smart bag. But here's the twist that's costing people hundreds of dollars. Many travelers don't realize their bag has a non-removable battery until they're at the airport. They bought it years ago. It worked fine on previous trips. Nobody stopped them before. Now, gate agents are checking, strictly. And this changes everything about those premium luggage purchases. People are being forced to abandon bags at the airport. $600 suitcases left behind because the battery won't come out. The alternative is shipping it home, which costs almost as much as the bag. But what no one expected was how many bags fall into this category. Early smart luggage models had integrated batteries. Removing them required tools and voided warranties. Manufacturers didn't design them to be removable because the rules weren't clear yet. Now those bags are worthless for air travel. The resale market collapsed. People are trying to sell smart luggage for pennies, but buyers know they can't fly with it. Here's what makes this particularly painful. The technology still works perfectly. The bag isn't damaged. It's just non-compliant with regulations that evolved after purchase. And airlines aren't offering any flexibility. The rules exist because lithium batteries in cargo holds are fire hazards, so enforcement is strict for legitimate safety reasons. Travelers are learning the hard way to check their luggage features before booking flights. Item number 4. The liquid that isn't a liquid. Here's where things get weird in ways that make no logical sense. Peanut butter, Nutella, honey, cream cheese. Yes, really. Spreads are now being classified as liquids. You're probably thinking this is a joke. These are clearly not liquids. TSA doesn't care about your definitions. In 2026, enforcement of the spreadable equals liquid rule intensified dramatically. If you can spread it, pour it, pump it, or squeeze it, it counts as liquid. But here's what's catching travelers completely off guard. These items passed through security fine for years. People packed snacks with peanut butter, brought cream cheese for bagels on long flights, carried honey from local markets as gifts. Now, all of it gets confiscated unless it's under 3.4 ounces. And this changes everything about packing food for flights. Families bringing snacks for kids are getting stopped. The pouch of applesauce? Liquid. The yogurt squeeze tube? Liquid. The jar of local honey you bought at a farmer's market? Definitely liquid. But what no one expected was how arbitrary the enforcement feels. Hard cheese passes through. Soft cheese gets confiscated. The difference? One spreads, one doesn't. Chunky peanut butter and smooth peanut butter both get flagged. Consistency doesn't matter. If the base product can spread, it's out. Here's what travelers are reporting from the front lines. TSA agents are apologetic about it. They know it seems ridiculous, but the guidance is clear. The rules changed in late 2025 and enforcement ramped up in 2026. The official reasoning? Liquid explosives can be disguised as food products. Spreadable items can't be easily verified as safe without extensive testing, so everything that flows, spreads, or pours gets treated the same way. The workaround? Buy it after security. But airport prices for a small jar of peanut butter are insane. People are paying $12 for items that cost $3 at home. Item number 3. The souvenir that ruins your trip. This one hits tourists particularly hard, international travelers especially. Snow globes, liquid-filled souvenirs, decorative bottles with liquid inside, these seem harmless. They're gifts. Decorations, memories from trips. Here's the problem that's breaking hearts at security. They exceed liquid limits. Always. Even small snow globes contain more than 3.4 ounces of liquid. But here's the twist that makes this particularly painful. People buy these at tourist shops, right near airports. Sometimes inside airports before going through security to catch connecting flights. Nobody tells them they can't bring them through. And this changes everything about buying souvenirs. Travelers are losing items with sentimental value. That snow globe from their honeymoon in Paris. The decorative bottle of olive oil from Italy. The liquid-filled ornament from a Christmas market in Germany. All confiscated. All thrown away. No getting them back. But what no one expected was how common this problem is. TSA confiscates thousands of these items daily. Every major airport has bins full of snow globes and decorative bottles. The worst part, many were purchased in secure areas. Airport gift shops sell items that can't pass through security at connecting airports. It makes no sense to travelers. Why would airport stores sell items you can't fly with? The answer is complicated. Different countries have different rules. Duty-free purchases have exceptions, but those exceptions don't apply to everyone. Here's the specific scenario causing problems. You buy a snow globe in the Rome airport. It's fine for your flight to New York. But if you have a connecting flight in New York to Los Angeles, you have to go through security again. That's where it gets confiscated. International travelers are learning this the hard way. Lost souvenirs, wasted money, frustration at rules that seem designed to trap people. The solution? Ship items home. But international shipping for a $15 snow globe costs $40. Most people just lose them. But the next 2 items on this list? These are the ones causing the biggest disruptions in 2026. We're talking about everyday technology that's become so common. People don't even think about it anymore. Items in millions of bags right now. And the enforcement has become so strict that even TSA agents are surprised by the new protocols. Number 2 is affecting families with young children especially hard. But number 1, that's the item that's causing arguments at security checkpoints every single day, because it seems so obviously safe that travelers genuinely can't believe it's banned. And the reason why will actually make sense once you hear it. Item number 2, the parent's nightmare. This one is causing meltdowns. Literal child meltdowns at security. Formula, baby food, breast milk, in quantities over 3.4 ounces. Wait, you're saying. Those have always been exempt from the liquids rule. They were. Past tense. In 2026, TSA implemented new verification requirements that are causing massive delays and frustration. Here's what's happening at checkpoints across America. Parents can still bring formula and baby food in reasonable quantities. That part didn't change, but now it requires additional screening. Every single time. No exceptions. The liquid must be tested. The container must be inspected. The process takes several minutes per item. But here's the twist nobody anticipated. The testing process is invasive and slow. TSA agents use special equipment to verify the liquid is actually baby formula and not something dangerous. Parents have to remove items from bags, open containers for inspection, wait while everything gets tested. And this changes everything about traveling with infants. What used to take 30 seconds now takes 10 minutes. Multiply that by every parent with a baby in line. Security bottlenecks form instantly. But what no one expected was the emotional component. Parents are stressed about traveling with babies already. Now add the scrutiny of having every bottle examined, the feeling of being treated suspiciously while trying to feed your child. Some TSA agents are understanding. Others are strictly procedural to the point of seeming hostile. Here's what parents are reporting. The testing process sometimes requires opening sealed containers. Once opened, they can't be resealed properly. Formula gets contaminated. Parents have to throw it out. That's prepared formula. Hours of feeding, gone because of a security check. The alternative? Bring powder and mix it after security. But airplane bathrooms aren't ideal for formula preparation. The water quality is questionable. It's not practical. Families are caught between impossible choices. Risk having prepared formula confiscated or contaminated, or struggle to prepare bottles in terrible conditions. And here's the kicker. The rules vary by airport again. Some locations are strict, others are lenient. Parents never know what to expect. International flights are worse. Some countries require medical documentation for baby formula, others don't. The confusion is overwhelming for already exhausted parents. Item number 1, the absolute security stopper of 2026. Here it is, the item causing more delays and confiscations than anything else. Disposable vapes, e-cigarettes, any vaping device not in checked bags. Those were already banned. This is about carry-on restrictions that changed dramatically. Here's what's different in 2026. Vaping devices must be in your personal item, not your carry-on bag, not loose in pockets. In a clear case, accessible for inspection. Batteries must be protected from short circuits. Devices must be turned off with no possibility of accidental activation. But here's the problem causing chaos at security. Most vapers don't know these rules. They toss devices in bags like always. Security stops them. Bags get searched. Lines slow down. And this changes everything about how these devices are transported. The enforcement is strict because vaping devices have caused fires on planes, lithium batteries overheating in cargo holds, devices accidentally activating in overhead bins. Airlines are terrified of these incidents. TSA is responding with aggressive screening. But what no one expected was how common this problem is. Millions of people vape. Most of them travel. Very few know the specific packing requirements. They're finding out when TSA pulls them aside, opens their bags, removes devices, issues warnings, or confiscates items entirely. Here's what makes this number 1. The reaction from travelers. People genuinely don't understand why this matters. They've flown with vapes before. Nothing happened. Why is it suddenly a big deal? The answer is incidents increased. Data showed more devices causing problems. Regulations tightened in response. But travelers feel targeted. Like TSA is making up rules to harass them. Arguments break out. People miss flights. Security has to call supervisors. It's creating a massive headache at every major airport. And here's the international component. Some countries banned vaping devices entirely. You can't bring them into Thailand. Can't fly with them to Singapore. Travelers don't research this. They land with devices in their bags, face confiscation, or even fines at customs. The confusion is compounded by mixed messages. Vape shops near airports sell devices to travelers. Don't mention you can't fly with them to certain destinations. People are learning expensive lessons. 7 items. 7 ways to get stopped, delayed, or flagged at airport security in 2026. The skincare products that look solid but aren't. The power banks with confusing labels and strict new limits. The smart luggage that seemed like the future but became worthless overnight. The spreads and foods that somehow count as liquids now. The souvenirs that break your heart when they're confiscated. The baby formula that requires testing and delays everything. And the vaping devices causing arguments at checkpoints across the world. The rules changed. Some of them make sense for safety. Others feel arbitrary and frustrating. But whether you agree with them or not, they're being enforced. Strictly. Consistently. At every airport. The travelers who know these rules breeze through security. The ones who don't, they're the ones holding up lines, losing expensive items, and missing flights. Knowledge is the difference between a smooth journey and a nightmare. If this saves you from a security disaster on your next trip, hit that like button. Subscribe for more travel reality checks that actually help you navigate the K of modern air travel. Because the rules keep changing, the enforcement keeps tightening. And staying informed is the only way to avoid becoming another frustrated traveler arguing with TSA at 6 in the morning. Safe travels. And check your bags before you leave home. Bags before you leave home. Bags before you leave home.